Alright, yeah, I guess I clicked it by accident. Alright, hello everyone! How are you all doing? Welcome back to the Nod-Krai Archon quest! Anyway, it's the same day I recorded the previous episode, but it's okay. I've taken a break, I got a snack, I exercised a little bit, I thought about it a little, and then I tried really hard to not think about it. That's what we're going with. A lot of heavy stuff happened in the last episode. Um, and I decided I'm only going to dwell on it on an as needed basis for the rest of today. So we will only bring it up when the characters bring it up. Otherwise, I'm going to start talking about existential stuff, and I'm not. I don't know. A lot happened. It's like that feeling of you want your eyes to be opened, but once they actually are, it's like, I'm not sure I like what I see. Anyway, we saw some of what happened in Conria and what happened to Rerir and Tholindis. But coming back to the present day, let's see how all this is going to affect our friends here in Nod-Krai, and just getting back into the good vibes of our awesome team we have here, and not out of the whatever dark mindset that previous part might have put me in. Okay, let's go.
She's fine.
Yeah.
Boss is a pro.
Good job, Nefer.
Yes, I'm fine. You will have seen the events of Rerir's life through my thoughts. It's now clear that he is just a regular nobody, driven by personal tragedy, as he said himself.
Yes, but a lot of extraordinary things happened in order to make him the way he is.
I mostly agree. There's only so much we can know about him from his memories alone, but they did give us a clear glimpse into his life in Conria. However, I would not consider Rerir to be a nobody. He was deeply involved in the events of that era. Yet, when the catastrophe of a generation strikes, nobody is safe.
Sounds to me like you're speaking in riddles again. Is this you urging me not to abandon the people of Nod-Krai in their hour of need?
That's not what I meant. Although I do hope you choose to remain a part of the plan. Without you, the mission ahead will be all but impossible.
Then try to remember that I respond better to the carrot than the stick. And I don't appreciate being bossed around. Now, as for you, Missy, you were excellent. You stuck to the rules of the ceremony and kept your mouth shut the entire time. Bravo.
Cool. So, can you fill me in on the deets now? Most of what I saw went right over my head.
Yes, let's debrief and just kind of explain what we saw here in terms of how this is going to affect us.
Patience. You'll hear the whole story, don't you worry. But let's meet up with the others first. It will save me narrating it twice.
Good idea.
Yehoda?
Yes, boss. Let me get that door for ya.
That's more like it. For a moment there, I was worried you'd forgotten about the first clause of your employment contract.
Forgive my curiosity, but what does the first clause say?
It says I gotta do the annoying stuff that boss is too lazy to do for herself. Like opening the door, pouring the tea, yada yada.
The true intern.
Is that right?
If something is in the contract, it's because she willingly agreed to it. Rest assured that the Curatorium abides by the very strictest of labor policies. You don't seriously think I'm cruel enough to treat her like my slave. In any case, I've hardly shied away from my share of the work today. Hope I don't catch Flintz and Varka lounging about in their chairs, enjoying a leisurely cup of tea.
I sincerely hope, too. I mean, definitely, it takes a lot to convince Nefer to help us, so hopefully they're not slacking off either.
There's nothing I dislike more than other people enjoying themselves while I'm hard at work.
And work we did today. Huh? What?
Oh no.
Oh no? Oh no, what? What? Sumeru?
Sorry to disturb you, but we seem to have run into some trouble.
Why are we back in Sumeru?
Evidently so. Don't worry, I'm not about to leave you to fend for yourselves. I'm not that kind of boss. And it would go against the Curatorium's labor policy.
I'm sorry. What did you hear me say? I wasn't talking about labor policy.
Wait. How long have I been standing here?
Not long. You just appeared by the door a moment ago.
Where's Paimon? He either has to speak for
Boss,
himself.
What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost.
It's only she in Sumeru and the rest of us are just, like, still in the Curatorium.
We've been tricked. We never left at all. Somehow I hallucinated that whole scene back inside the office.
What are you talking about?
Hallucinated? But how?
How indeed. This place should heed my will alone. All thoughts and actions that occur in here are just a result of pawns moving across the chessboard in a carefully calculated manner. And nobody has access to this chess set but me.
I guess this is how the story is going to force Nefer to explain how she does that, the going into people's memories thing.
So you control everything in here?
So you're saying... So this is still real, in terms of the four of us are actually here. This is not a dream. Or rather, we are in a dream, but, like, we're not seeing each other as, like, dream people. We are together in this dream. And you're saying when we were back in the Curatorium, that was just an extension of going from Revir's memories to, I guess, Nefer's? I don't know. Explain.
More or less. But yes, it's a special technique of mine.
Has anything like this ever happened before?
It's so weird. Paimon's not here, so... Wait. That's true. Paimon didn't talk in that last scene. Paimon was there. Paimon didn't talk. Yeah, because Paimon's not here. Anyway, it's just so weird for Ether to have to speak for himself because Paimon's not here.
Only once. It was the first time I used the chess set.
Is there any similarity between what happened then and what's happening now?
I suppose my thoughts are a little turbulent, which was also the case my first time.
Is there anything I can do to help?
The first clause of your contract clearly states that I only need your help with things that I'm too lazy to do myself.
Meaning, you're not feeling lazy right now?
Meaning, this is not something Yehoda can help with. The chess set is a personal treasure that I alone understand. I must be the one to find our way out of here.
Okay.
Boss, it's fine. Really. Let me do something useful.
I'm sure something will come up.
Oh, listen to you. Whatever would I do without you, Yehoda?
Aww.
What? Really?
Yes, really. Where would I ever find another employee as obedient and servile as you? God forbid anything ever happens to you.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, I was thinking of fetching
Whatever
some
you
water.
say.
There's gotta be a source around here somewhere. I suggest everyone finds someplace comfortable
I
to
mean,
take
first
a
of all,
rest.
where are we?
Gotta conserve our energy.
Nobody's asked that yet.
Even though all this chess malarkey doesn't exist in a physical sense, mentally speaking, it's all real. And so is our tiredness and fatigue.
And dehydration.
You don't want to dismiss mental fatigue. Just because it isn't physical doesn't mean it's any less serious. But anyway, I got your backs, so don't worry about a thing.
Yay.
Don't I have the best employees? Jealous much?
If we can find a suitable time, I'd love to borrow Yehoda for a day to help out at the Frost Moon Scions. Would you be amenable to that, Boss Nefer?
Oh, Lauma. Have I ever told you just how pretty you are? Beauty runs from the tips of your antlers to the depths of your imagination.
Oh, what a way with words.
Time to rally, everyone. Follow me. As we continue our journey, the same rules will apply. That means stay focused and no talking no matter what we encounter. And don't disturb the chess pieces. You have my word that I will get us all out of here.
Dance of Death, Serpent and Scorpion. Okay, we're still only Nefer. It is pretty crazy that you launch straight from the Reverie segment right into this with no break. This is Aru Village? This is Aru Village. Oh, the nostalgia.
This place looks familiar.
Aru Village.
That's not a good sign.
Okay.
There's someone up ahead. Time for a little chat.
Is this Nefer's memories then?
I wasn't expecting visitors at this hour. Wait, is that?
Oh, it's him.
There you are. Sinue's been looking for you all day. I think he has some news for you.
Oh yeah? What were you doing just now, Uncle Retinue? Hiding away some more loose change? I know I saw some Mora.
What do you mean loose change? Oh, come on, I'm too old for this. Just pretend you saw nothing.
Okay. I guess we don't know that much about Nefer's past, so I guess this is how they're going to show us.
Hey, kid. Mind telling me what Sinuhe's been up to recently? I'm trying to get in his good books and I need a way in.
Get in his good books? Why? What do you want with my dad, Uncle Apepi?
I've written a new song. I was hoping to showcase it at the next festival, but I'll need his approval.
A new song, huh? I'd love to stay and listen, but unfortunately, Uncle Retinue says my dad's looking for me.
Well, there's plenty of time and I'm not going anywhere. See that pile of stones? I'll be sitting there warming up my vocal cords. Come find me when you're done.
Pile of stones. Got it.
Okay. Once again, this is kind of like whiplash between the Reverie story and now Nefer's story. Continuously.
Hi, Dad. Uncle Retinue said you were looking for me.
Ah, there's my little princess. If you'd gotten back just a little sooner, you could have shared the spoils of war with me.
Spoils of war? Who were you fighting against, Dad?
It was just a figure of speech. The aftermath of a sandstorm is no time to be waging war. I was talking about our war against thirst. I went out to fix our water supply problem, and now I'm back. Which means...
You've solved it?
We have a well again!
That's right. I found a new one and brought back as much water as I could carry. It should last us for a good while.
If it wasn't for these blasted sandstorms, our wells wouldn't be caving in. And you wouldn't be spending all your time out searching for new water sources.
As the chief of our tribe, I'm supposed to be leading us out of hardship and poverty, onto better things. You know how prosperous our ancestors were. I've told you all the stories. And look at us now. Squeezed into these hovels. No one would choose this, if it wasn't for the endless wars over the years.
Yeah. It's interesting to go back to the Sumeru story and kind of remembering the animosity between the people of the forest and the people of the desert, and now how they've all been brought together and are helping each other out.
But things
But it
are
wasn't
looking
always
up.
that way.
I started working with some folks from the academia a few months back. They gave me some contacts in return for my assistance in the desert.
So you're the Academia's helper now?
Special ambassador, they call it. Think of it as a partnership. It's nothing bad, okay? We've been isolated here in the desert for too long. Seeking opportunities elsewhere is the best thing for us, and the fastest way to progress.
So, do you get anything good out of being a special ambassador?
Of course. My luck's improving all the time. One day, I swear I'm gonna lead us out of this place. We'll find somewhere new. Somewhere better.
You continue exploring. It's not clear why this memory has appeared here after all. Why, when Nefer usually has such control over the chess set, why would she lose control? And it's showing her own memories now. This is like Inception.
That's our well, and you know it. You stole from us. Well, you've gone from chief to thief, and now you have to face the consequences.
Oh no.
Did you really think you could take our water without permission and get away with it? You're either brave, stupid, or both.
And that special ambassador act? Yeah, nice try. We spoke to the academia. They said it was all news to them.
Oh no.
You're a liar and a cheat.
Oh my gosh. So this must have been what happened to Nefer's dad.
I heard Yehuda gasp, but I don't blame her. Most people are terrified by the sight of blood. Corpses strewn across the ground. The wounds are clearly from scimitars and daggers. The desert dwellers' weapons of choice. There's a handwritten note on the ground.
The animations.
Let's see what it says.
Animations are so detailed with the
Halil, this is Sinuhe, chief of the Shimti
way
tribe.
the page just drifts across
Surely
the
you
ground.
remember me. I was the one who helped you and your colleagues avoid the quicksand in the desert. This is my second time writing to you. I assume my last letter must have gotten lost in the mail, as I didn't receive a reply. I hope this one makes it to you safely. I'm writing to you because I need some help. That sandstorm the other day completely blocked up our well, forcing me to look for another water source in Iab and Unut territory. It was a matter of survival. Praise the gods. The well of the Iab tribe was intact. It was my last resort. I drew what water I could and left, but not without being spotted. I fear they will retaliate. You told me to write to you if I ever needed help. You said you'd be my ally in the academia. I urgently need you to formally recognize my title of Special Ambassador and send some of your people to assist me for a few days. It's the only way I can convince them that this was the academia's decision and prevent them from retaliating. This is an emergency. Please send help as soon as possible.
But he wasn't actually an academia ambassador.
Looks like this letter never got sent. The writer died a grisly death, and the letter was trampled into the ground. It's badly defaced. Some parts are barely legible. What a ridiculous lie the surviving Shimti tell. Their whole village was butchered over a sip of water.
So tragic. But
Ah, officer. Welcome. Welcome to our humble village.
I thought you would at least have the courtesy to provide some respectable libations.
oh, so rude.
This is the finest wine Aru village has to offer. I promise.
The Academia has agreed to reserve a single space for a candidate from your village. But I remain skeptical of this entire endeavor. I highly doubt anyone in this desert possesses serious academic potential.
Wow, that's incredibly mean of you to say, and discriminatory.
Please, have faith. If not in us, then in our God. The child we found shows great promise. I beg you, take her away from this place. Give her a chance. Don't let her talent go to waste.
I don't recognize her. New arrival?
She showed up here a few days ago and we took her in. She's a really bright kid. Please help. I'm begging you.
So, where are you from?
Nowhere special. Just a sand dune.
What about the rest of your family? How many of you are there?
Just the one.
It's only you?
Correct.
So, no brothers, no sisters, no mother or father?
Any who have slept on a bed of sand, I call my brothers and my sisters. Apart from that, I have no family.
All right. Get over here. Sign your name on the form.
This is interesting. This is how she was able to go to the academia during...
Nefer? You You're rather fair-skinned for a desert dweller.
That's also kind of racist. Okay. Now we're in the House of Dana. Things have changed so much in Sumeria.
Nefer, this term's assignments have been issued already. Please read through the materials thoroughly, conduct your own additional research, and then write an essay on the topic.
Yes, Professor, I'm aware. I just had a couple more questions I wanted to get your perspective on.
Oh? Please ask away.
Well, I saw the other students' problem sheets, and I couldn't help but notice that my assignment is much easier than theirs. Do you really think I'm a weak student?
A weak student? Goodness, no. Quite the opposite. You have a sharp mind. Almost too sharp.
I think what you're saying is, a weak student wouldn't have noticed the discrepancy. And if they did, they certainly wouldn't complain about the lighter workload.
But then why give her a different workload?
You see, sharp as they come. You see things the way they are. And I'm sure you know why they're like that.
Because of where I come from. Because I'm different.
I'm sorry, Nefer. I don't like it any more than you do. It's just... Anyway, you said you had a couple of questions? What's the other one?
I wanted to check... If someone sent me a letter to the Academia, where do I go to collect it?
Ah, your family wrote to you. Well, as long as they put your name on the envelope, someone should hand it right to you.
Not exactly. It's not even a recent letter. I was just curious where the mail would end up if no one collects it.
The House of Dana, I expect. I know there's a box for unclaimed mail somewhere in there, probably sitting on a shelf.
I mean, you're in the House of Dana right now.
Whatever you're looking for, that'd be the place to start.
Okay, got it. Thank you, Professor.
Oh, don't mention it. Honestly, I feel like I failed you. I'm supposed to be your teacher, but I haven't taught you anything.
Hey, don't say that. You're a great teacher, and you do your best for all your students. But the rules are the rules. You're not allowed to teach students like me. It's not just the Academia either. The whole world bends over backwards for the successful, and leaves the losers to suffer and die.
Oh, my dear child. Don't tell me you've given up on life already.
I haven't. I just think that if you want to make it in this world, you have to find a way to become successful.
Yeah. So I guess now we see the origins of Nefer and why she's such a cutthroat businesswoman. Because she knows someone like her, people won't hesitate to tear her down the second they have the chance. So she's never going to give them that chance. I said that Sumeru back in the day was not a very good place actually for studying. Ironically. I'm really glad we've changed the way things are. Things that we did in the Archon quest and freeing Nahida, but it was hard before then.
This must be it.
And probably
a big cardboard box full
those
of
biases aren't
unclaimed
going to go
mail.
away overnight either.
And probably some letters that ended up here by mistake, too. Let's take a look.
What letter is she looking for? Oh, not you with the letters, too.
A dilapidation survey from Port Ormos. Looks like it's from a Core of 30 representative. What a strange thought. A bunch of mercs losing sleep over rundown buildings. This one was never even opened. I guess the recipient didn't care what the Core of 30 had to say about anything. Who was it addressed to? I don't recognize the name, but it must have been a Kasharawar professor.
Okay. This one's red, so it'll be Spontamod, right?
This one is addressed
okay,
to
the color doesn't
Amorta
actually
Sage.
match.
The title is Changes Observed in Satyavada Life Symptoms. Why do all these letters read like full-blown dissertations? Guided by the incense, we became lost somewhere in the forest. All the barriers between levels of consciousness disappeared as our minds soared around in circles, looking for a branch to seek refuge on. In clinical terms, these symptoms fit the description of incense poisoning. The Amorta Darshan strictly prohibits the use of hallucinogenic substances, but I believe there are still people getting away with it. For example, my neighbor who always breaks out into song and dance after using incense. This seems like something the academia would want to know about. Why wasn't it collected? Wait, what's this written on the back? It's so small. The note says, "The sender authored this letter while under the influence of mushrooms. I would send it back, but no return address was provided. Stamped by the Grand Conservator of the House of Dana."
So you're saying the Grand Conservator opened up somebody else's mail, or was it sent to the Grand Conservator? But still, if it's the former, if they're auditing mail like that, that's not good. That's also illegal. And also profiling and discrimination.
This next one is addressed to Grand Sage Azar. A few words of protest regarding recent changes in Sumeru's educational policy. In recent years, the academia has taken on a small number of students from the desert region, as per the policy to this effect. However, it appears to me that these students have not, in fact, been provided with educational opportunities that are, in any meaningful sense, equal to those enjoyed by their peers.
Which is what Nefer's experience was too.
As well as receiving dumbed-down assignments and perfunctory tutoring. They do not even have full access to the Akasha system. Education is the fundamental purpose of this institution, which should go without saying in a nation whose founding virtues are knowledge and wisdom. I ask you, is the lip service we pay to the policy of education for desert students truly the standard of pedagogy to which the academia aspires?
So somebody else is thinking, who sent this letter? Because this person is speaking out.
As Grand Sage, policy decisions are your prerogative. But do not forget your roots. You and I were once students too, as was everyone else in this institution. I do hope you will give some serious attention to this matter. I encourage you to discuss issues like this with myself and others, and listen to some alternative opinions.
Look, I'm just so glad that we sentenced Azar to a life sentence of community service. But, you know, he could have gone to jail for what he did.
Great letter. Shame it didn't get to where it needed
to
go.
Who wrote it?
And the sender is...
It was Cyrus. I knew it. Huh? I was like...
Sage Cyrus of Spontamod.
I was like, it's probably Cyrus. After all, Cyrus himself, he was able to get Sino enrolled in the school too. Sino also being a desert dweller. I mean, you can tell he doesn't have that kind of bias. Anyway, he's the kind of guy who would stick up for yeah. Well, we know what happened in the story before this, so...
I didn't realize anyone else even knew how bad students like me have it in this place. So this is where letters from the Sage of Spontamod end up? Nice one, Grand Sage. Really enlightened leadership. Whatever. This isn't what I came here for. Moving on. I'm not exactly holding out hope that a letter sent from the desert would even make it here. But if it did, Where else would it end up if not in this box? I can't believe how much discarded mail there is. Must have been years since someone last went through it all. And this is just one box. The whole house of Dana is boxes on shelves. I don't believe for 1 second that any human being has sat down and read through all the documents in this place. Who has that much free time on their hands?
Probably no one. What is this? It's the last thing. Here.
Wait. Could this be it?
Least fancy envelope in the box, written on crude quality paper. And of course it would be right at the bottom of the pile. Clearly no one gave this letter so much as a first glance, let alone a second. The handwriting on the envelope looks very familiar.
Greetings, Halil. My name is Sinuhe, chief of the Shimti tribe. I was the one who came to you and your colleague's aid when you ran into trouble in the Great Red Sand. I don't know how well you remember it now, but I brought you to safety and gave you some water and other supplies. You seemed very pleased and told me your name. In my tribe, learning a person's true name is serious business, and I therefore see you all as friends. You were kind enough to leave your contact details so we could stay in touch. The Shimti tribe lives a harsh, nomadic existence in the desert. You were sympathetic towards my plight, promising to make me a special ambassador of the academia and help us find a way to make a better living. This brings me to my reason for writing. Our tribe has fallen on particularly hard times, and I would like to ask for your assistance. There was a terrible sandstorm a few days ago, which blocked up the well in our land. To ensure my people's survival, I had no choice but to venture into Iyab and Unut territory in search of an alternate water source. The Iyab and Unut are descended from the Thamudians. While we trace our ancestry to Tulatala, we worship the Lord of Flowers and have had relatively good relations with our fellow tribes up until now.
Interesting. Tribe that actually worshipped the Lord of Flowers.
I found a well
instead of
belonging
King
to the
Deshret?
Iyab tribe.
I guess the
They
King
declined to
Deshret
help
and
us, but I really had no
the
other
Goddess of
option.
Flowers were friends.
So I took some water to keep me and my tribe alive. My actions are certain to incur their wrath. When we met, you assured me that you would be my ally in the academia. I would like to take you up on that offer, because I really need your help. I wonder if you could send an academia representative to meet with me. That aside, the last time you were here, you mentioned that the academia had started accepting students from the desert, and I told you a little about my daughter, Nefer. We have next to no resources here in the desert, and my power and influence are limited. Would you consider enrolling my daughter at the academia? She is a smart girl. I know she won't disappoint you.
But that letter was discarded as soon as it got here.
From the outset, the academia never took you seriously. Those things they promised were just empty words. I doubt they even remember the name Sinuhe. And you were so emphatic that your luck had finally changed for the better. You swore you'd lead us to a better place one day. You spoke with such conviction, like you were the most powerful chief in the whole desert. You liar. You lied about everything. You promised the world and delivered on none of it. And who fell for it? Just me, by the looks of it. Despite your best efforts. Which makes you a pathetic liar. You weren't even any good at it. I think I'll take over from here. Let me show you how it's done.
Here's Boss Nefer's turn. You'll see no empty words from her. Yeah. But see, she's had to work harder and be even more perfect just to be taken seriously here. Because it's clear that at this era, the academia didn't take desert dwellers seriously at all.
Goodbye. Thanks for everything you've done for me in my time here.
Nefer? You packed your bags. Where are you going?
I'm quitting. Something's come up in my hometown. Gonna head back and deal with it.
Huh? But this was a hard-won opportunity for you. You know that better than I do.
It was. But it doesn't matter. I have more important things to deal with and they can't wait. Oh, and I didn't want to overfill my bags, so I left some incense on your desk. What's wrong? I thought you liked incense. Although, I did read somewhere in the House of Dana that it has hallucinogenic effects. Don't use it all at once, alright?
Isn't this the stuff you brought from your hometown? You're just letting me have it? But you said it's a rare and valuable commodity.
Yeah, about that. I lied. It's not rare at all. There's this bunch of ruins near my hometown that are practically overgrown with this plant. It's not worth much. Keep it. It's fine.
But Nefer...
Alright, that's all from me. You take care.
Goodbye.
Don't forget me, okay? I mean, we're more than just classmates, right? We're friends.
Yeah. I'll remember you. I lied again. That incense is worth a fortune, and it's a rare find even in those ruins.
Oh my gosh.
And as for remembering her, I have far too much to do when I get back. No time to reminisce. I'll be lucky if I even make it through this alive. But either way, I expect I'll forget you pretty quickly.
Well, clearly she's still somewhere in the back of your mind. As evidenced by this. Out of curiosity, I don't want to click it. What happens if I do try to exit out though? Nope. Well, you imagine you exit out here, it makes you do the entire part with Red Rear, and then also this. Alright, show him how it's done.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Arif.
So, what does the Academia want? Since they've sent their special ambassador, I assume there's a big business deal to be made. If not, I'd be very disappointed.
Please, sir, lower your blade. You're lucky I'm the one they sent. Not all special ambassadors share my admiration for the Eab people. The ever-shifting balance of power in the desert reduced the once great civilizations of this region to rubble and sand. But the story of the Eab has a very different trajectory. Others grew weak, but you grew strong, beginning in obscurity and moving to prosperity. You're the only ones who defied the trend.
Huh. So, you do know who you're dealing with?
This well is the perfect symbol of your strength, is it not? It used to belong to the Unut, but it looks like you have control over it now.
You're not wrong. But I'm sure you didn't come all this way just to flatter us.
Of course not. I came to bring you some very good news. Some information that recently came to light, which might just be your ticket to freedom. Records uncovered by the Vahumana Darshan show that a certain well currently under Eab control is built on top of some ancient ruins. These ruins are of great archaeological interest to the Academia.
Is this true, or is she just toying with them?
I checked the map carefully on my way over here, and I'm confident that this is the well in question. The Academia is offering 50 million mora in return for excavation rights.
50 million?
50 million is a lot.
No, wait. If these ruins are as important as you say, 50 million's a little low, don't you think?
Don't get greedy, Eab. We know far more than you think. We know that you seized this well by force. Wasn't that the first step in your rise to power? To drive away the Unut and steal their water supply?
So what if it was?
Don't worry. As unscrupulous as it was, it's something we're willing to overlook. The Academia is only interested in dealing with the de facto power holders in the region. I hope I am making myself clear.
And I hope your words are the truth. If I find out the Academia is trying to play me, I'll hunt down every one of your people and make you watch as I cut their heads off one by one.
I assure you, Chief, that would not be in your long-term interests. You don't want to make an enemy of the Academia. You see how I'm dressed, don't you? I appreciate that you've never been to the rainforest, but surely even you recognize an ambassador's attire when you see it. And what does a barbarian like you have to lose anyway? You really think the Sumeru Academia would bother to come all this way just to lie to you? We have more important things to worry about.
Yeah, you can see this is where she's developing her style. She saw her own father as being way too naive and trusting of the world. You could see these are the actions of someone truly jaded, but also knows that if she wants to get anywhere in life, her life is hard, and she's going to have to claw her way past everybody to reach the top, further than anybody else has to.
All right, I take your point. The Academia is the highest authority in the land. I'm sure you're trustworthy people.
Yeah, and also, she commands authority. She has the confidence to back it up, even if she's faking it till she makes it. With her father, nobody believed he was actually the special ambassador, but in Nefer's case, they do believe it. So you can tell, she commands respect, and she will take it from you.
In that case, we have a deal. We will sell you the excavation rights. I'd like to thank you, Ambassador. This is good news indeed. Excellent news. In fact, it calls for a celebration.
She hasn't
Would you do us the honor
paid
of
you
staying a
anything
while
yet.
and enjoying some EOB
Not even a
hospitality?
deposit.
Gladly. I am partial to wine myself, and I trust you are as well. So let's indulge in a few drinks together, in celebration of this momentous occasion.
Now later, the Ayub drink the night away. The prospect of their new wealth is almost as intoxicating as the wine. When a new day dawns, it brings some shocking news.
Chief! Chief, it's an emergency! It's the Unut. They've taken the well.
What?
What?
Well, don't just stand there. Take it back.
Yes, Chief.
I have every confidence in the EAB's military superiority, and yet...
She's getting to the turn on each other.
Well, what is it?
The Unut's response was alarmingly fast. The day after we reach a deal, they seize the well. This can't be a coincidence. Perhaps there is a
She's so
traitor
toying
in
with
your
them.
midst.
She went and told the other tribe. She wants them to kill each other for killing her people.
I don't think so.
I am obliged to remind you, Chief,
The master
that the
at
Academia will
gaslighting
only
here.
deal with the de facto power holders. If you cannot regain control over the well, I'm afraid you won't see a single mora of that 50 million.
No! Please, Ambassador, just give me some time. I swear the Unut will not get away with this. That well is ours. And so is the Mora.
Glad to hear it. I will wait here for an update.
If there is a traitor, I will find them. In the meantime, make yourself at home. I'll report back as soon as I have an update.
She's really good at this. She's so convinced this guy.
Much obliged.
She's learned to use
Wow.
people.
All it took was a few words and I've got him wrapped around my finger. What an amazing feeling.
So, in summary, Ambassador, the Academia would rather negotiate with our tribe instead of the Eab, yes?
The Eab are ruthless murderers who don't listen
Yeah,
to
she
reason.
talked to them both.
And now they have the gall to interfere in our research projects in the desert region. So let me ask you, Chief. If you were the Academia, what would you do?
And they're going to kill each other before either of them can find out that this is all a ruse.
Kill them all, of course.
Precisely. The Academia does not tolerate those who stand in our way. The Eab have held back our academic pursuits for too long, and our patience is wearing thin. At the same time, there is simply no way that the Academia can be seen to be intervening in desert affairs. I'm sure you understand where I'm coming from.
We have our own rules out here. If the rainforest dwellers raised arms against a desert tribe, you'd start a bloody war.
Right. We can't confront them ourselves, but we can support their enemies. The Unut have always had strained relations with the Eab, which makes you our natural allies.
You can see those. It's not just that she's bloodthirsty, though. This is somebody who has not been in control of her own life. Has been led on by lies. Has been denied equal opportunity. Has faced a lot of prejudice. And now this is finally her moment to finally reclaim power. And that power is just to be able to change the way things were, even though it's not going to bring all the people who died back. In fact, if anything, she's getting them to kill each other. But you can tell she's a master at this craft. This is why you don't want to be on her bad side. And I also imagine this is why she left Sumeru and eventually came to Nod-Krai to work in intelligence over there, because I think this is probably... yeah, I don't think she can come back here after this.
Natural allies. Weren't the Eab your allies once? You were quick to send them after us to protect your interests back when we stole that water. And now look at you. You're at each other's throats. Let me be clear. The Academia wishes to collaborate with the legally recognized rulers of the desert in this matter. We are asking for excavation rights to that well, and our offer is 50 million mora.
Say no more. I believe we have an understanding.
Good. Then I suggest you get to work. Get us access to that well, and the mora's yours. You see, Dad? Lying is easy when you know how. People will believe anything.
I know, it's just your dad was a good guy, and he probably couldn't stomach. Well, he did lie. He did lie, but he probably really couldn't stomach it, because it was probably not a convincing lie. Versus Nefer. But still. This memory is here because it's... and we're exploring it because clearly this still weighs on her. This is her long-buried past. But... oh, did you just see the cat? That was the Nod-Krai cat, right? Did you just see it go virally fast? Oh, what were you expecting? Okay, yeah.
Look at yourselves. You may be vile, savage monsters, but your butchered bodies bleed like any others. You're no different. You're nothing special at all. The monsters who destroyed my home, they're just ordinary, petty human beings. What a joke. I think we're even now. Maybe I've even done the desert a favor. It's a better place without all these people around. Oh, Sinuhe. My gullible fool of a father. Perhaps if you'd been as ruthless as I was today, our tribespeople would still be alive. In this dog-eat-dog world, a chief needs to be tough to survive.
Yeah. I mean... yeah, it's just as she said. It's a dog-eat-dog world that she was living in. If her father was bold enough to steal the water, his backup plan was not sufficient. You need to be that bold for... the thing is, it's not a situation I've personally ever been in. And so I don't know if I would make the same choices. So I can't really speak to that. But definitely what the story is saying is if you're bold enough to do that, you need to be bold enough to do whatever it takes to save your own, even if it means tearing other people apart like this.
But you couldn't do what had to be done. So I did it for you.
And there's our four watching this all happen.
Nefer, it's okay. All of this is in the past now.
I believe I remember you promising to remain silent.
Yeah, but even so...
Stanzo got the end of the memory here now.
Yehoda, is there anything you can do to ease the tension?
You got this, Yehoda. It's your time to shine. I mean, we're kind of experiencing a really heavy moment right now. I think we gotta really be careful how we try to lighten the mood here.
Alright, time for a sharp turn onto a completely different topic.
That's not necessarily gently lightening the mood. That's very... But let's see how she does it.
So, anyway, that's enough of that. When are we getting out of this place? Feels like we've been walking forever. I'm getting pretty tired. Oh, Alma, you tired?
Yes. If we can find somewhere to sit down, I could certainly do with a rest.
It's not far now. There should be a temple just up ahead.
Is the situation about to reach a conclusion?
Yes.
Really? A temple? That's where this story ends? I guess that's how things go in the desert.
I've been to a similar place with a friend from the desert before.
Desert dwellers can never escape their destiny. Or so everyone says. I never wanted to believe it, but looking back now, I'm as desert as they come.
You mentioned a temple. What's waiting for us there?
My biggest trade secret of all.
Ah. Then I'm guessing it's where you got your power from. The power to peer into other people's minds.
I didn't know you were clued up on any other religions.
I'm no expert in the history of Sumeru, but since you come from the desert, I would imagine it has something to do with King Deshret.
And the seven pillars who served him. They are major figures in the desert belief system, too.
Sounds impressive.
I have some friends with connections to this stuff, specifically with Hermanubis.
Ah, I know who you mean. General Mahamatra Sino. The spirit
Master
of
of
Hermanubis dwells
jokes,
within him.
General Mahamatra Sino.
That's boss enough for ya. She knows everything.
She does.
Sino's hardly a figure of obscurity. But I know about Sethos, too.
What about him? Is he a big deal or something?
Yeah.
Well, he's not a small deal. Let's put it that way.
You sure know your stuff. I wonder if this dialogue would change whether or not you did Sino's second story quest or not.
Please. This is the bare bone basics. Save the flattery. Thanks for your patience, everyone. I'm sure it's been a lot to take in. With any luck, that's our exit just up ahead.
So, in in the Sumeru event last update, this quest was a prerequisite and I didn't do it. I'm gonna assume this part with the temple is why. Because we also went into the temple. It sounded like with the... I'm just gonna say it. With the cat, Thoth, one of the 7 pillars, sounded like there were 3 people that Thoth gave powers to. 2 of them have already died, and it's implied that the 3rd one was Nefer, so I assume this is what we're talking about here. This is the part that I didn't do before, that I technically needed for the story to be complete. But you know what? We're all about doing stuff out of sequence these days, apparently. Well, I had to, so.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I was wondering when this cutscene was gonna... Because there was a cutscene with Nefer and Lauma and Yehoda. I'm like, in the desert. I'm like, when does this happen? Apparently it's gonna happen now. I was like, is there a Nefer story quest or something? But I don't think there is. I think this is where it's gonna play. Because it's right in front of the store.
I'm totally out of my depth here. I don't have anything to add about any of this stuff. Like, look at that statue, for instance.
Oh, I feel ya, Yehoda. I don't know what to talk about. Look how cool this architecture is.
I want to do the whole name-dropping, this girl knows her stuff thing too, but I've never seen anything like it before.
It's one of the 7 pillars.
A statue with the head of a bird.
Looks like something out of King Deshret's mausoleum, which we've been to.
That's Thoth, the Ibis
Yeah!
King, one of the 7 pillars of King Deshret. The legends say that he, the Crocodile King, and the Goat King were the 3 retainers of King Deshret.
The cat. Not really, yeah, you know what, playing the other quest would have made so much sense if I'd been through this first, but it's okay. We're gonna learn this backwards. Okay, cutscene time. Is it actually the cat? It is! It is the cat!
It's just Ashru.
So, all is well?
It's Ashru? That's true. You know, we saw a cat that was Thoth, and we also saw a cat that was Ashru last time I went in the temple.
Typically speaking, at this point, the world disintegrates. Then we find ourselves back in the outside world. Besides, these are my memories. There's nothing to fear.
You're sure?
Of course. It's almost over. Okay.
That's the wild hunt. Why would you say you have to be sure? That's the absolute meaning that things are not gonna be sure. Never!
Never! Hey!
Hold on!
Is it the wild hunt or is it... It is!
Knowing too much is always a death sentence.
That's not Revere's voice though.
Speak for yourself.
Is that actually River, or is this like some... Oh, it's the thing she took from Dory! Never!
How repulsive.
Dane? What is happening? What is this? Columbina! Dane, Columbina! Uh-oh. How do we... What, did we... Did we trap him in that box? What? Paimon, did you get help for us? something happen to us on the outside? That would make sense. Wait, did something happen to us on the outside and Paimon went and got Dane and Columbina?
Timed that pretty well, didn't I?
Whoa, that was insane. Okay, that was freaky. That was like the epitome of like a nightmare. You're having like a semi-coherent dream and then suddenly like you get jump scared. Like, was that the real Rerir, or is that just like us being afraid of Rerir and so the fear of Rerir enters our consciousness? What is that little thing that Dory gave to Nefer? Because it had some kind of Kuvaki power. I mean, actually, that probably was Rerir, because the fact that Columbina had to teleport us out means that we were actually in a physical space that we could be teleported out of. Like, that wasn't just our dreaming or consciousness. Oh, that was so much. I was wondering about that scene in the trailer where Nefer and Lama and Yehoda were all in the desert. And I'm like, when did this happen? Because they also pieced it together with footage from the Sumeru events. I'm like, is this somehow connected? I don't think it would be. Okay, explain.
It's okay. I'm just glad no one was hurt.
Paimon noticed you doing something too, Dainsleif. Were you helping get them out?
Of course. When I asked Nefer to conduct this investigation, I was not naive to the dangers involved.
I thought he was actually going to come with us, honestly, to go into Rerir's head. But actually, it's probably better he's on the outside to pull us out.
I had a duty to ensure your safety.
Good to know your sense of justice is still intact after all these years.
Yeah, we saw what happened in Conria.
I take that to mean that you saw the truth. That comes as a
Poor
great
Dainsleif,
relief.
though. He assembles an army of all of his friends to come and storm the castle, and then they all essentially abandon him there. And like, ooh, the power to destroy the whole world? Don't mind if I do. And only Dane is the only one not tempted by it.
I certainly did. And thanks to your help, I also managed to trap Rerir inside the chess set.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. He's just in that box now, like a genie in a bottle. Sometimes I just don't know what to make of this.
Whoa, really? How'd you manage that?
Well, to be honest, I sensed that something was wrong long before we made it to the temple. By using this fragment to probe into Rerir's past, well, the monster formerly known as Rerir. It seems I alerted him. I was tracking him,
I was wondering
then he caught
about
on
that.
and started tracking me too. Can't say I'm surprised.
You think you can really go into somebody's memories and start probing around in them without them noticing? I know we're talking about a detached part of his body with the heart fragment, but considering he was able to detect it for so long and after he was, chasing Flynn's around trying to get it, like, it's not attached to him, but it's still part of his body. I was just like, I find it hard to believe you can look into a live person's active memories without them noticing. And indeed, that is the case.
But how did he track you through your thoughts alone? That
Was he the one that
possible.
diverted it to essentially being Nefer's memories instead of his own?
Rerir was a secret agent who reported directly to the Vinster King. He is an expert at finding a trail and hunting down his pursuers.
No wonder.
He infiltrated the chess set, read my thoughts, and built a new virtual chess set inside of it. That's why we weren't able to leave.
It's like you guys were playing like 5D chess. It's a chess set, but also he was changing the chessboard to trap you.
Speaking of your chess set, it's quite a remarkable item. Would I be right in thinking you have some connection to King Deshret?
You overestimate me. I only have a connection with one of his underlings, the Ibis King. You all saw how this came to be. A long time ago, the Eab massacred my tribe, the Shimti in our home village. A few years later, I enrolled in the academia, where some new information came to light. The Unut and the Iab fought a bitter battle over the rights to a well, all for the sake of a non-existent 50 million mora. The Iab ultimately won that confrontation, but their victory came at the cost of almost every warrior in the tribe. The final blow to the Iab came at the victory feast, when an Unut assassin beheaded their chief right before my eyes. The remaining Iab fled and have been scattered to the winds ever since.
She got them to tear each other apart from the inside out.
Having gotten my revenge, I returned to my hometown, where to my surprise, the nearby temple was still standing. There it was, seemingly immune to the relentless hostility of the desert, while my tribal home lay in ruins. As I stood there gazing at the temple, I noticed a cat just outside. This cat, as it turned out, was home to the spirit of the Ibis King. He led me to a gate deep inside the temple, and there he made a deal with me. This chess set is my gift from the Ibis King. The chessboard within is made to the same specifications as the one in the mausoleum of King Deshret, and represents his power of piercing analysis. With this chessboard in its container, I gained a certain ability to perceive hidden secrets. Now, you could conclude that the Ibis King simply wanted to give the people of this world the power to seek the truth, but I don't believe that's the full story.
You were right. Although I'm not gonna lie, it was a month ago, so I already forgot what it was. It's something about he needs your help to get out of his prison. Or rather, you and the two other people who he gave gifts to. Something
Every
like that.
god plays favorites. Their hearts are as fickle as any human's, full of secrets, perversions, egotistical tendencies. But precious few gods are willing to admit this.
Oh, Dane agrees with you.
It is the same with all powerful forces, including fate itself. Their gaze falls preferentially upon a select few. As you rightly point out, this is an act of favoritism.
If you're alluding to the Abyss, then yes, I agree. Gather the others. It's time to share everything I've learned.
Before long, the group is gathered in the office. Those too busy to attend. Okay. Oh, Ashu!
Thank you all for being here.
Oh my gosh, it's just so crazy to see Albedo and Durin after all the, Albedo and Durin make me so happy. Everything that's happened in the story has made me so sad. Okay. It's just so weird to see Dane just sitting on the couch there. I'm just not used to him being so cooperative.
As promised, I did some further investigating into the Raker of Solnari's background.
Yeah.
I am pleased to report that the investigation has been most fruitful indeed.
Now we can debrief on both that, and I guess we don't really need to. She already debriefed on what we saw in her own memories. But let's debrief on what we saw in Rerir's memories.
The Raker of Solnari, real name Rerir, was once a Conrian subject who served the Vinster King. I will now share the important details of his story. Please save any questions or comments for the end.
Okay. Nefer narrates Rerir's backstory to the group. At the Vinster King's behest, he gathered intelligence and assassinated descendants of the Crimson Moon dynasty. Unwilling to take down his beloved, the Lindis, who was secretly of Crimson Moon heritage, he then got dragged into court politics. Vedrfolnir's voice, which spoke to him of his fate, was like a reflection of the moon. Though he could disturb the waters to gain some temporary relief, he was powerless to erase it entirely. In contrast, Rerir's own life was like a reflection of a broken moon. Once the stormy winds of fate blew across the water surface, it was utterly destroyed. This is not an analogy that's easy for us to understand, considering in our own real world, the moon is still intact. The Lindis smuggled away a piece of the moon before disappearing through that mysterious portal. It was passed down through the ages, finally falling into the hands of the Knave. But what lies on the other side of that portal? Is it really a whole other world? The Lindis never had the chance to share what she found there. Neither did Rerir, who followed her in.
So that's why he's so obsessed with the moon.
So, yeah, then my question is, how did he get out of there? And... You know, actually another question then. Did he fall into the moon before or after Renova put the curse of I can't speak anymore. Immortality on Conria? Clearly, though, Thelindis fell into the portal before that point in the story, because that's the point in the story when the Five Sinners became the Five Sinners. That heralded the beginning of the Cataclysm, right? So Thelindis might not be alive, because she might have not even been in Conria when the curse was placed. Do you have to be from Conria when the curse was placed? I don't even know. I guess we never really asked that. Or is it just if you're Conrian in general? How do you decide that? I would assume it would just be if you were located in Conria at the time of the curse being placed. So then that brings up a new question of, is Rerir like that? I mean, clearly he's still here today. That implies some amount of immortality, but that could also be like, you know, Ant-Man in Avengers Endgame only being in the portal for 5 minutes, but 5 years passed. I don't know. I guess from that same logic, Thelindis could also still be alive. Yeah, where does that portal go to? And how did he get out, but not Thelindis? And what does he need Columbina for? I mean, presumably then to get Thelindis out of the portal. But how did he get out? How did his body get scattered across Nod-Krai? Actually, it probably has something to do with when they said that when the moons were broken, the pieces fell to Nod-Krai. That's why Nod-Krai is so strong in Kuvaki. So, seeing how Rerir fell into the moon's reflection, probably pieces of him got scattered across the land too, which created the Wild Hunt. Now, why? And once again, how do we know the same thing didn't happen to Thelindis? And furthermore, what was Thelindis doing? We still don't know that about what she was actually researching to make that portal appear.
A tragic tale, to be sure. But it does not excuse his many transgressions.
I agree.
No matter how much Rerir suffered in the past, the fact remains that he is what we know today as the Wild Hunt, wreaking havoc upon innocent lives in Nod-Krai.
That's right.
He becomes more dangerous with each passing day. If left unchecked, it is simply a matter of time before all of Teyvat suffers the consequences. This is a threat that the Knights of Favonius cannot ignore.
A question for Miss Columbina. Forgive me if this is presumptuous, but have you ever seen the spatial gateway that appeared in Rerir's memory?
This is why it's... The thing is also, it's like, how does she know... How do we... I mean, we can only verbally describe to her what it looks like, right? We can't show her a picture of what that gateway looked like.
Never. But I have heard stories of something called the Moon Gate, and this seems to fit the description.
Miss Lama, any thoughts on this?
In the lore of the Frost Moon Scions, the moon is believed to hold many secrets. Some sources speak of ancient knowledge, others of a gateway to the unknown. The term Moon Gate is one I have heard before. But as is the case with all of our legends, there are no records of any first-hand witnesses. We cannot know whether it truly exists.
Then back to Miss Columbina. As a moon goddess yourself, do you have some idea of where the Moon Gate
and
leads to?
Ashura in the background.
Not at this stage, sorry. I do hold the power of the Frost Moon, and my strength is recovering well. I can sense that the gate would open at my command, but...
But there's more to the power of the Frost Moon than that?
Yes. A moon goddess has the right to open the Moon Gate, since it is a path to the moon.
So it
But
leads
as
to the
Nefer
moon.
mentioned, holding open a spatial gateway takes a huge amount of power. And right now, I need to conserve my energy to fight the Rayhir of Sonari. I'm afraid this is one mystery we may have to leave unsolved for now.
I agree. Better to save your strength. But if you'll humor me for a moment, I have a bold conjecture of my own regarding the world beyond the gateway.
Oh?
I highly suspect that neither Tholindis nor Harir made it through unscathed. The evidence pointing to this is the fact that the Rehir of Solnari exists in the form of countless fragments.
Yeah, he got torn to pieces. So that's what I mean, is like, how do we know the same thing didn't happen to Tholindis?
With the abyssal power he wields, no ordinary foe can touch him, let alone tear him to shreds. And yet, the wild hunt proliferates wherever his scattered fragments lie, drawing hordes of monsters to many different locations across the land.
So your theory is that Rerir was physically torn to shreds by some powerful force? Hence, why the wild hunt is a distributed phenomenon, rather than a unified one?
Makes sense to me. Explains why the wild hunt is so pervasive, and why he's been trying to piece himself back together. He was whole to begin with, and he wants to be whole again.
Without the power of the Abyss on his side, he almost certainly would have perished the moment he was torn apart. But the Abyss, much like a curse, has kept him alive.
Yeah. And I'm guessing that's what kept him alive, not the curse of immortality. Because it sounded like he wasn't even in Conria for that part.
I could not agree more. The power of the Abyss is most surely a curse.
It is a compelling explanation, and one that accords with my present understanding of Abyss creatures. Whether the life form in question is primitive or advanced, if a curse has extended its lifespan unnaturally, it will continue to survive in spite of everything. This raises some interesting questions. I will run some experiments and see if there is any validity to my suspicions.
I must ask, what kind of experiments can you run to verify this?
That being said, regardless of whether my research bears fruit, I would like to thank Miss Nefer for conducting such a thorough investigation. Already, it has greatly enriched my understanding of the entity we face.
My pleasure, Mr. Albedo. I too hope that the information I have shared today proves useful as we look to formulate the next stage of our plan.
Hey! What is it, Dainsleif? You look really upset!
I'm on looking out for Dainsleif.
It's just... when I think of the man I once knew as Rerir, I struggle to understand why things had to turn out like this.
The two of you used to be friends, didn't you? I don't know if these words will bring any comfort, but my heart goes out to you.
Aww. See, Dane? Look how nice it is if you have friends. Look how nice it is to actually, you know, hang out with supportive people instead of hanging back all the time.
Mine too.
Aww.
We can never know all the hows and whys of the way things are. The moon and stars are full of untold secrets and lies. And the skies are host to many more mysteries than these alone. Yet, none of that can begin to compare with the complexity of human life.
Those are the first comforting words I've heard in a long time. Thank you, both.
You know what? I'm just so happy for Dane, you know? For the last few years, he's just lived this very isolating life from time to time. I'm glad he's reached out to us, and I'm glad we can help him, and I'm just so glad we have such a great group of friends. So welcoming, so ready to open their arms to a new friend, and I'm just really happy to see. Look, I think a lot of tragic things happened in the past, according to the story today. But I think what we can really take away from this is how beautiful the present is.
Well, I think this is a good place to end today's meeting.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm sure Nefer needs some time to recover. She's been through an awful lot today.
That's very thoughtful of you, Llama.
Of course.
Sounds good to me. Take some time to rest and digest before we reconvene to nail down a plan.
Back at the hotel, you sit with Paimon. Okay. Gotta say,
Hey, Is this a bad time? Hope I didn't kill the conversation.
No, it's fine. I'm just like... See, I gave myself a break here, but like the game didn't. I don't think the game has given us a break in a while. Like, I walked away with my iPad on for a while, but like, it's quite a lot to force. This is becoming more like Honkai Star Rail by the minute in terms of large chunks of really heavy story, not with a ton of breaks. But unlike Honkai Star Rail, if you're in a story part, you can pause and save and then come back to that part of the story domain. Whereas in Genshin, I think it resets you to the beginning of the story domain when you're in a story segment. Anyway, come on in.
No need. Come on, let's talk outside.
Well, not something we need to talk about in private. That's a first for the last little while. What's up? I guess we have...
Anyway, Nefer went back to the curatorium to get some rest. But before she left, she shared some things with me that I thought you should be aware of.
This is the first time we are just talking one-on-one with Varka. The man, the myth, the legend Varka, who has just been mysteriously absent for so long.
Firstly, although she managed to trap the Raker of Solnari inside her chest set, there's no guarantee that the power of the Ibis King is any match for one of the 5 sinners. Their powers are beyond our comprehension. It's only a matter of time before he finds a way to break out.
Yeah.
We have to come up with a
It
plan.
could be any time.
Take care of him before that happens.
I just can't believe we trapped him in that little box. That's just like Doctor Strange and Spider-Man.
Honestly, my mom figured that might be the case. So, how long have we got?
Well, I asked her that same question. She talked for a long time, but for the most part, it seemed like she was trying to convince me how precious her chess set is. What a long and storied history it has. It felt like some kind of sales pitch, you know? The kind where you end up handing over Mora against your will.
You mean a
Anyway,
scam?
After all that,
That's
she
called a
finally
scam,
answered the
Varka.
question. 2 days, at most.
But yeah, I mean, definitely, we came to understand Nefer a lot better today. I mean, as she's always said, she doesn't like doing favors, you know, nor does she really do things out of the goodness of her heart. The things she does, there has to be some justification where either, you know, this is a transaction or she gets something personally out of it. And you can see from basically the way her story has been, it's, yeah, she has to, nobody will give her the things that she deserves just because she deserves them and because she works hard and tries to prove herself. In a lot of cases, you just have to reach out and take it, and that's really her philosophy as a businesswoman now. But also still, you know, fair dealings. You know, I don't really agree with what she did, but in her mind, turning the 2 tribes against each other, that was payback for what they did to her people. It all came around for them in her perspective. Anyway.
2 days? Holy moly! Can we even recruit enough help in that
I
time?
don't know, Paimon.
That remains to be seen. Which brings me to the second issue. Dainsleif is obviously conflicted about this whole thing. But given how little time we have, there's no way we can pull this off without his help.
I gotta say, it's actually quite tragic to see Dane just like on the floor there while all of his friends abandon him. I feel really bad. I feel bad because I guess in the past when we were hanging out with Dainsleif, like pretty much the whole quest is about Dane and the Abyss and the Abyss Order, and well, the story is more focused on him, whereas I feel like so much has gone on today. I've barely been able to give much thought to how Dane is feeling, other than because now his story is intertwined with everybody else's stories. We're just processing all these emotions all at once. But for sure, what happened is tragic. I mean, clearly these are all people he assembled to save his brother because they are the people he trusted most in the world. For all of them to give in to the temptation of power. Yeah, that's quite sad for him. This is why. I mean, okay, we learned a lot about Conria, but what we didn't learn yet, we haven't learned yet, is at what point does Lumine, or our Abyss sibling, come into the picture? Because clearly, the arrival of the Abyss sibling in Conria, or, you know, the when he becomes the princess or prince of Conria, also heralds some change in the way the Vinster King runs things. You know, with them being the savior and all of that. I wonder, I'm assuming that happens after the Five Sinners became the Five Sinners, but anyway. Anyway, I bring that up because I was thinking Dane doesn't have any friends except for the Abyss sibling in that case, because they went on a journey through Teyvat together afterwards. And then they got betrayed by the Abyss sibling who went with Clothar and Vedder and, you know, I think I just realized, you know, he's probably really depressed from all the betrayal he's faced. More betrayal than Wanderer.
You have some history with him, right? Do you think maybe you could talk to him for us?
I'll see what I can do.
Great. I appreciate it. All right, on to item 3. So, Albedo, Durin, and I put our heads together and came up with a plan. Can't promise it's gonna work yet, but at least it's a start. We figured we'd bounce the idea off you first. We'll explore it further once everyone's recovered.
Okay, ask away.
Oh, Paimon's dying to hear this.
All right, so here's what we're thinking.
You're not gonna tell us? Harka lays out the current plan. It's a shocking plan, but none can phase the greatest traveler and the trustiest travel guide into Teyvat. It doesn't take you long to get behind it.
We felt a little
You're
uneasy
not telling
about
us
roping you
what the
into this.
plan is?
I mean, firstly, you're not locals, and secondly, none of us are your boss. You're well within your rights to refuse if you so choose.
Roping us in? Why would you even say that? We know
Yeah,
the stakes
you know,
here.
the whole world.
It's all of us
and all
against
that.
the
And
Ranger
also
of
because we're not gonna abandon our
None of us stand a
friends.
chance.
I choose my words very intentionally, I'll have you know. I like to think there's an art to striking a down-to-earth tone even when the stakes are through the roof.
Sir Varka, I have a few thoughts about this
Thank you
plan.
for speaking for yourself, Ether.
I'm all ears.
I think we can be more flexible with how the roles are allocated. In my view, the most sensible lineup would be like this.
Oh, you're talking so smart all of a sudden, Ether. I like it. But no, we're not gonna hear what he has to say. I love how
see your
hard
point, yeah.
they're working to
But
keep
if that's
the
how we're
player
gonna
in the dark
approach
here.
this, you'd better make sure you're ready. To be clear, I don't doubt your abilities. Far from it. I just want to make sure. Are you really willing to take all this on?
I want to do everything within my power. The Rayhir of Solnari is a truly fearsome opponent, and if I do my part, it'll greatly reduce the risk for everyone else involved.
Well, that
I'm
tracks
gonna
with what
assume
I've
it has
heard.
something to do with
Jean's
his
mentioned in her
purifying
letters
powers.
that you're so diligent it's almost abnormal.
She said that about us? Wait, she said that about us? Okay.
As in, most people weigh up the risks and rewards in situations like this. But you seem to just march towards danger without a moment's hesitation.
See, I know it's a compliment, but I'm just like... I'm just thinking about all the commissions and all the quests that we've done throughout Mondstadt and how we are so, from the perspective of the NPCs there, we're just so willing to drop everything to help out. And it's kind of funny. But I realize from the perspective of the characters, does appear to be just pure altruism. But from my perspective, it's like, I'm just thinking about how many commissions across Mondstadt we've done. And I'm like, wow, she noticed.
Of course, everyone appreciates a fearless pioneer. But all that aside, I'm the Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius, and you're our honorary knight. I want to make sure your courage doesn't come at the expense of your safety.
Don't worry about us.
Thank you.
Actually, I can't say that for certain because they won't discuss the plan with me. But I'm sure. I trust Ether. Don't worry about us.
I should be the one thanking you. It means a lot to have you on board. I'll give some serious thought to your suggestions.
Barca gives a very knightly balance as he'll meet you at the hotel again later. He has arranged for everyone to meet and finalize a plan of action. In an effort to lighten the mood, he booked out the hotel for this meeting so you can all chat over a drink. As the moon rises in the sky, you and Paimon leave your room discussing whether Paimon has any other options than fruit juice. Everyone's already there waiting for you. They're chatting and smiling. Clearly, the rest has done them good. As well as the existing crew, some unexpected help has arrived. Still, you remain conscious of the fact that the future of Nod-Krai rests on what is decided tonight. Okay, hold on. This is a lot. So many lives are at stake. You may never meet most of them, but whether they know it or not, all of them are counting on you. Okay. Oh my gosh. Do you realize we have not had a break since we were fighting the Rift Hounds back in Revier's Memories? And Ether almost died, and I'm like, I'm not gonna heal him up. Then they're forced to heal up Albedo and Yehoda. That's so funny. They have not... I think that's probably one of the longest uninterrupted story segments they've ever done. Now, I'm mentally prepared for that, but I'm just surprised that they would do that, because Genshin is usually much better than Honkai Star Rail at, you know, putting little breaks for the player to escape, basically, when they have a moment. I mean, I don't think there's anything else I need to say. I've talked a lot, so I think I'm going to take a break. It's late. You know what? I really thought I could finish Act 4 today, but I'm thinking Act 4 is a lot longer than Act 3. Like, okay, in between just now when I took a break, in between the Rerir part and the Nefer part, I looked up a video just to see how far I got in the story. It was like, oh, not even halfway through Act 4. Now, that is great for me in terms of enjoying the lore, but not so great for me in terms of budgeting my time. So I might have to just call it a night and go to sleep here. Or maybe I'll keep playing. I haven't decided yet. I have nothing to do tomorrow except play more of this game. Anyway. So we just get the achievement. There is so much going on. Moonless night. It was an age when sinners had yet to commit grave sins. I mean, I wouldn't say that. I'd say the mass murder part sounds like a grave sin to me. Game of blood and sand, not but a handful of dust and sand. Interesting. Interesting. Anyway, I think we've debriefed enough. We learned a little bit about Nefer. We've connected Nefer's story to what we saw in the Sumeru event last time. And understand a little bit more about Revier and Dane now. And finally, I guess I keep saying Dane is being unusually cooperative, but I think most of all, it's just really nice to actually see him not being so, you know, cold and just like, I'm just here to deal with the abyss. I don't care about anything else. Like here, well, the story is giving him a situation where he's forced to care about something else, mostly because this has to do with both the abyss and his friend. But it's like, he's now also in a situation where he cares about something the rest of us are all fighting towards, and that unites him with the rest of the group when he's always working so hard to basically, you know, avoid the rest of the group and interacting with people. I don't know, it just warms my heart, really. Finally seeing our friend, you know, in a situation where he can genuinely trust others. Because I can tell he hasn't had a ton of that. And I just, you know, wish him... I'm just glad we're doing this. We got so many friends here together. I'm very happy. Alright, gonna take a little break now. I'm gonna decide I'm gonna play more or go to sleep and play tomorrow. Yep. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye everyone. Bye cat.